Hello everybody and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included on our Frozen to the Core series. Alright, in our last episode we built out some farms. We've got Oxalite production going. We've got bathroom and bedrooms and dining hall and a kitchen, and hey, we're making progress. This episode will continue to expand, but we're also going to do a lot of exploration. So, oops, excuse me, sorry. One of the first things that we're going to do is come in here, select granite, and we're going to replace this ladder. Because it's made out of wood. And well, there's nothing wrong with having it made out of wood. We want to graduate from wood for ladder building, because ladders are... they don't need to be made out of wood. Alright, so we're going to do that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is dig, and dig. We're going to pay attention to where we're digging. I got to be careful we don't dig into any super cold areas. So, but we are going to go ahead and dig over to here so that we can get into that area. We'll put a door and a wall here. This is technically not classified as a bathroom because it's too big, so we'll close it off. Get it set up. And then we're going to select some areas. Excuse me. That we can dig into. I also want to try to save as much of this oxalite as possible. Maybe I should... yeah. You know what? We won't dig it all, but we're going to start... we're going to try to save and get this oxalite dug up. It's not that I don't want it to off-gas. You know, I mean, because eventually we'll use it, but the problem is that it's all I've got as a backup reserve for oxygen until I put it in an oxygen system. I mean, these plants will work, and obviously we can do a bigger farm to really get it going. But, you know, we probably want to drive that and be as careful as possible. Let's get our pole so that we can increase transportation. And then at the same time, we can come over to our stations, and we can put in our shearing station. We can't use it yet, and we can put in our grooming station, which we can't use yet either, but we can do it. I didn't know there was another little, like a wood-looking one, huh? Cool. Alright, so we'll get those built so that those become ranches. And later on, we'll get the ranch bonus. We need a rancher first, so, I mean, it's not a huge thing. Alright, so we're going to get this. We're going to get oxalite stored up as quickly as possible so that we can save it. I realize right now they're just putting it into these things. They're not actually storing it, they're just filling these things up as far as they can go. Which, when you think about it, you know, there's only 62 kilograms right here. I mean, it's not much, but they'll get it stored, they'll get it taken care of. The problem is they can't carry much right now, so not a lot you can do. Alright, but we'll get that. And then we can start digging into other areas as well. So we're going to go ahead and dig into that area. We're going to go ahead and put an offshoot this way. We're going to come in here and dig into this area as well. We're going to come over down here and we're going to get into that so that we can get into there. Later we'll get into this area. Over here we can probably dig through this and get into that, and then dig through this. So that we get into that section. And that will allow us to get into this so that we can submit our bioscan. We're already over here. We just need to build that so that you can continue. We're going to do that. Up here, we'll go over to that area. As I said, this episode, we're going to try to do a lot of exploration, so we will do our best. So we'll come there, and then I think we can go this way as well. All right, cool. Well, that gets us a lot of pathways to go. There's a couple things that we'll have to do. How big can a dining, or this can be 120 tiles. Kitchen, I think, maxes out at 96 or whatever. For now, just so that we keep these contained, we'll do this. In fact, you know what? I'm thinking temporarily we'll do this so that we can keep oxygen inside. I think that's going to be probably a better bet. Yeah, let's get this dug out. If I do that, will you guys be able to still get out of here? Maybe not. Maybe we should put a ladder here just in case. Just in case for some reason you decide you're stuck. Would probably be a good idea. No. We can dig through here as well. Alright, excellent. So we got a lot going on here. But that is good. And then let's come into our priorities and take a look at some things. So the first thing that I think we want to do is we're gonna go ahead and set you to where you're not building and you're just researching. We'll keep you with the rest of the stuff, but we'll focus you. And same thing with our farmer, simply because he's got enough to do. Everybody else is good though, I think, for building and everything else. So that'll help us out. Eventually we'll get some power going. We could burn wood for power, but until we get our ranches going, that's probably not a good play yet. Alright, so this should accumulate carbon dioxide that comes out from up here. So we will continue to work on that. Then I think we're also good to start just kind of clearing that out as well. So for our next farm area. Excellent. So okay, so we found our critter evolving machine. Excellent. This, of course, gives us our capability to go to, or to send materials, yep, to the other asteroid. Got another submit bioscan over here we'll have to get up to, so we can probably go ahead and put in a ladder over here. Like that. And that'll allow us to get into there. Tutorial radiation. We found radiation somewhere, evidently. Okay, you guys can get to this still, right? Yes, okay. I was just making sure. We can't get to this one. Ah, that's why we didn't go that way. We're good on food, so I'm not worried about food. We're good everywhere. Alright, so we just have the 2 oxygen sconces, but of course we were letting a lot of material out. We were only able to store 214 kilograms out of all of this that we picked up, so not great. So we'll have to watch that and keep it going. We also need to move this ice liquefier. I think I'm going to move it into the kitchen. probably be a good place to put it. In case ever we need water for the micro musher, and of course we need water for this, but eventually we'll have fresh water. We'll heat up water. We'll make a place. See, we can't get to this food unless we do that. This food or this digging area, so we can do that. Meanwhile, we'll just keep the research pouring through. Is there anything urgent that we really want? Yes, the insulated tile. So let's get that one. All right, excellent. So, but that last one gives us our fire pole. So I will go ahead and start building that. Don't know if I need it all the way down, but we're doing it anyways. Let's deconstruct that, and let's make sure that this one gets built. But that'll just make moving around the base a lot easier, and then with the insulated tiles, we'll be able to put in the heat barrier and slowly work on that. We'll probably put it here and then in the middle too, so that there's just a slow transition of, hey, it's warm over here, not too warm obviously, 20 to 30s average, and then it gets colder, and then finally we maintain freezing, which eventually what we'll have to do is actually put in permanent cooling systems if we want to keep any of this type of farming going. So I am going to go ahead and do this as well. This is going to be another farm. I don't know if we'll make it pike apples. I think we're going to go ahead and turn it into the plum squash, and then put some behemoths in there as a ranch. I think that would fit. Now I do know, just from looking at things, it's a little bit different than your normal ranches, because when you think about it, if you put phloxes like with the pike apples, right? Where's a phlox? Here's a phlox. Come here, phlox. Can I click on you, phlox? All right. So he's gonna eat. All right. He will graze on live and fallen pike apples, right? Now I don't know from this. Doesn't quite say there. Let's look here. Does it say how much food he will eat? Okay, so he will eat 20% of the growth cycle. And he'll excrete dirt as poop. Or he'll eat 160 calories per cycle of pike apples. So he lives 100 cycles. Alright, so what we need to do is, a pike apple gives us 800 kcals. So one bush, we're going to pull up my calculator. Oh my goodness, I'm doing math. I could look this up, but we'll do our one bush divided by 160 is 5 cycles of food. And right now, a bush grows 12 cycles. So not sure how that would affect this. Does it expand it? If it grows 12 cycles and he's eating 20% of the growth cycle, that means the growth cycle is going to be slower. Is that slower by 20%? So instead of 12 cycles, it's going to be 14 and a half cycles, or for the growth cycle? Huh. But I'd say that your standard, like, 8 floxes in a ranch, that this would not be able to sustain them and provide you food. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Which basically means that every 12 cycles, we harvest 12,000 kcals. But if we have 1 flox in there, and the flox is eating, what was it, 120? So 1,440 for every growth cycle for 1 flox. So if you had the max of 8 floxes, that's 11,000. Yeah. So, okay, well, actually, that might turn out. That would mean that this here can support 8 floxes, but there would be no extra food for you, for the dupes. Although they eat from the bush. So I'm not sure how that part works. I might have to look up and figure out an explanation of that mechanic. But, we'll have to take a look at that. Let me see. Let's get you and you dug out as well so we can build those. All right. Do we have a cook? Do we have a rancher? No, no, and no. Well, darn it. We don't have just a general... Well, we've got this guy, but he's noodle arms. Minus 120 carrying capacity. Yeah, I don't think I want you. I mean, the doctor in general would be okay. You could work and be our runner. All right, you're gonna be it. All right, so Ron the runner. That's his primary goal. Is Ron the runner. He's a doctor, but he's gonna help us with all the supplying and all of that kind of stuff. So we'll give him the tidying hat. We can also upgrade you, which means you've almost got that part. That's cool. All right. But let's come into priorities. Ron the runner. So you can do storing. You can do tidying. You can do life support. So we'll up you on these 2 things. And then that means well, you're not doing any true operation, but we'll put you here. We'll allow Ron to build, though, because he does have the +5 on build. So, all right, cool. We'll do that. All right, so you are going to get a plume squash. So plume squashes will give us, if we're not feeding it to the behemoths, 4,000 kcals. Can you cook a plume squash? Maybe you can't cook a plume squash. We got plume squash seeds. We got a behemoth patty. Because I think it would be here. Maybe you just can't do it on this machine. You need one of the more advanced cooking things. Probably need one of the more advanced cooking things. All right. Well, let's stick these here. I don't know if we actually need a feeder for these guys, but we're gonna put it in anyways. Alright. We'll go ahead and put the door in the ceiling, so you guys can do that. Alright. If we were to ranch these guys, which will give us reed fiber, and then the behemoth patties will give us phosphorite and clay. His problem is he really eats, from my understanding. So, because when you look at him, well, he gives a ton of meat when he dies at his 200 cycles. Wow. 200 cycles. You need 200 of them for one to die every cycle. But it says, when a room has less than 16 cells of space, he's crowded and confined when it's smaller. So, isn't that the same thing? Oh, for each critter. So does that mean if I want 2 critters in one room, I need to have that room 32 cells? If I want 4 critters, I gotta be 64 cells. So we could do 5. Excuse me. You could do 5 in a ranch. 6 would be pushing it because a ranch is at 96, right? So 5 would be safe. So we'll have to remember that. We can only have 5 in a thing. But from a food standpoint, look, he eats 1,778 kcals a cycle. Or 44% of the growth rate. Woo! That's gonna be, but he gives 5 units of that. That's pretty cool. Alright. Does it say on the Fluxus? Where am I? Come here, Fluxy. Crowded when room has less than 12 cycles. So, what's 96 divided by 12? I know someone's already done it in their head. I'm not a math person. I gotta use a calculator. So, okay, so we can have 8 Floxes in a space. Okay, so that's the typical. We just can't have the behemoths be the same. Alright, good to know, good to know. We're never going to dig that unless we do that. Okay, cool. Alright, well. That's enough math. We don't need to do any more math, right? We're good. We can move on with our next research. What would be probably this? Well, we don't need it yet. So I'm going to hold off on that. We're going to go ahead. We don't have a water source yet. So I guess we can, we should focus on power options. If we do this, we can burn ethanol, if nothing else, as an emergency. So let's do that. And then get the pumping associated with it. Guys, you're going to be peeing icicles. Literally. At even -12, yeah, you're going to be peeing icicles. It's nice to see that this side's actually warmed up. See, that's the difference. That's why I wanted this with our igneous rock, is that we can start putting in... In fact, we're going to do it right here. Start putting in our floor to protect the cold. Well, actually, no. We don't need to do that. We'll do that. What's the difference? Well, this one here is just reduces heat transfer between walls. This one here insulates the room to reduce heat loss. So yeah, we still want this. And then this here, same thing, to reduce heat loss. Okay. So, my goal then is that I would put an additional thing here with a set of doors. And so that the air doesn't flow through, I would actually probably start sealing it with a door that it'll only allow air to go through and heat to go through as they move. And I might even double it. I don't know. It's going to be curious of how I do it and put that together. So we'll take a look. From a stations, this would still need that and a groomer. Oops, don't know why I jumped over there. And then this needs to be set down to 5 because that's all we will be able to have into that room. Okay, cool. Alright, let's look at our exploration. How are we doing over here? We're getting ladders taken care of, so that's good. We're almost up to this so that we can submit that. And let's go ahead and just come over here and dig this icicle, just so that we can see a little bit further. Oh, we've got mercury. It's a new element, and we finally got our new, our first little seal over here, which we would want to take advantage of too in the future. Okay. Nothing down here except for the betas. So that's interesting that you have them on the home map immediately. So, okay. This direction we haven't gone anywhere down below. We did get over here, but we're not quite yet to the security door. We did get over here, but we're not yet to that. But we did dig up over here. And we are getting close to going that direction. However, we probably want to do that. Yeah. Just to give us a little bit of a... because as soon as we build this, everybody's trapped. Alright, and we haven't gone up yet or further down. Alright. No problem. Well, I think that completes it for this episode. I mean, we're making good progress. For sure. We're going to continue to do so. We've obviously got a lot to accomplish, but we have a basic plan of what we want to do. So we're just going to continue to work in that direction, and slowly build out our base, and go from there. That's our whole plan. Atmosphere. Yeah, we really need to get carbon dioxide pumped into here. So that's where I think we're going to be putting in a pump. Just so that we can create a little bit of a layer. Right now, all of our carbon is coming down to the bottom of the map. Which, not a bad thing. But we could easily do this. As I said, that this was going to be the end of our episode. We could easily do that. Then we could easily just run a wire this down here. There. That way we can grab this carbon dioxide, put it into here, and get this maximized. Otherwise, we could be getting to a point where we'll have issues. Yeah, right now we only have 2 of these sconces working, so that's fine. We're storing 0, which means that we're just using up everything that we've collected, so, yep. Alright, cool. Well, we will see you in the next episode, everybody. Take care.